I'm actually going to do a quick little review of this little doodad here. Texture spray gun. I bought it at Harbor Freight. And I wanted to try an experiment because, well, I went ahead and did a sprayed in bed liner in my stock trailer. And this I got at Harbor Freight as well. It actually worked out pretty good. You know, I just put a liner, just a trash bag in there, lined it, put it together, put the air to it, and diluted it down with 1 pint per gallon of acetone. Then you just put it in there with more, over 90 psi, and the finish actually came out pretty good. You can actually see the line there. As you can see, it left a pretty good finish that I ended up actually painting. If you look, you'll see the difference in texture here. Well, somewhat, because some of this was all sandblasted, so it's an old trailer. Just bear with me, folks. It's a little beat up. But it actually has a really nice paintable texture. So, even the guys at Harbor Freight didn't know that you could do that. Amazing what you come up with when you gotta get forced to do it. So yeah, it's coming along pretty good, I think. Everything seems to be looking pretty good. Yeah. I guess tomorrow we can put the lights back on it, and that won't take very long. Get the lights back on it, give it another day or two to cure up. Might even just let it go all day Sunday and just let it be in a nice warm garage for an extra day or two. Just give that chemical and the paint there plenty of time to cure up. Yeah, actually, here's a good example. See the difference in texture right there? When the light hits it right, you can really see it. Okay, there it is. If you look just past the door there on that fender, I put sprayed in bed liner on that fender. See how it's smooth towards the back, and got a little bit of texture right there just above that step by that door right there. That's the finish that texture gun will leave you. The trick I found is with this texture gun is it feeds like a son of a gun. You open this gang up and you pull that trigger, it feeds fast. I mean, like now. So the trick I found with it is not to pull it too hard. Not to pull that trigger too dang hard. And I can see that I'm probably going to have to put a little more acetone in this to eat that garbage out of there before it sets up or something. Works out pretty good. Even if I end up having to pitch the gun and it's never usable again, it was only 35 bucks, so I got 120 all together because I got the bed liner from Harbor Freight on special. So got the underside of the fender, got the inside where the cattle and livestock are all going to be shitting and pissing. So hopefully this will keep the steel from rotting out again anytime soon. Pretty happy about the fact that I've got it this far. If you look at the other videos I got of it, I don't know if I posted one yet, but this trailer had some serious rot, and we put all new steel in the belly of it. Well, I had new steel put in. I had a machine shop do her up for me. That cost me about twice what I planned on spending on this trailer when it comes to the steel, but that makes it this way. If something happens and that floor ever fails, I got someone else to blame besides myself. And they're structural engineers, designers, and all that stuff. They do that stuff every day, so that's the reason I went with that route. But I am state licensed to work on these trailers, plus I went to welding school, so it's not like I don't know what I'm doing with a welder. I just didn't want to didn't want the responsibility. I did not want the liability on me. It's all in how you feel about things, folks. I mean, for you guys out there that are do-it-yourselfers like myself, but you know, I kind of get paid to do it myself, so whatever. Oh, come on, get apart. There it goes. Just trying to get this little bit of tape off of here so that it's not on there. See, that's the other trick about pulling tape, guys. Pull it when the paint is still a little bit sticky and tacky. Don't pull it off right away. You don't have to. Matter of fact, some guys don't pull it until the paint's cured up. But I found if you want that sharper, cleaner line without any kind of a jaggedness to it, you just pull it off when it's still a little tacky. Then you ain't got no big deal. I'm going to leave them tires bagged up for tonight just because I don't feel like screwing with this trailer anymore today. I've already got, let's see, this ripping it apart. That took a couple hours. I had a few people helping me. That only took, actually it went pretty quick. But got the mats and just got to get the lumber. I got to go get over to the sawmill and get some new slab wood. You got two ways of going. You can go ahead and put the 2-inch, the 2x6 lumber back in there, which is just number 2 or treated. Most of these trailers came with number 2 pine boards, 6 foot from side to side. Or you got another option, you go with treated. That's a step up. Or in my opinion, you go completely stepping it up. And you could go get yourself some good hardwood and just drop her in there or get it cut to fit, whatever, and then go over each board with some Minwax and then drop them in here. And you're done. Put your rubber mats in. If you're in the south, go ahead and put some cattle panels down. Make yourself a mountain floor with some cattle panels. And then put your mats down or whatever. For guys up here in the north, generally we don't do that because we don't have that steep of a grades to go up and down, but it's called a mountain floor. They rib the floor with something like in a old gooseneck like this or an old steel job like this. They take, fencing staple nails and they put a cattle panel down. That's what this originally had in it, which ultimately just contributes to rot, but it's a necessary evil, so it is what it is, folks. I cannot wait to get this thing put the rest of the way together and start hauling some cattle with it. Cattle, horses, whatever I get to haul with it. I'm pretty excited now. Because any way you look at it, I just got to put a floor in now. So once I give it a day or two to dry, I got to measure each one of these sections up from like that piece there to the back end here. Got to measure it out and figure out a combination of 2x that is going to be easy to drop in here without having to rip it down thinner than 6 inches. So that's where the other rub is. Because you may have to throw in a 2x10 or a 2x12, more than likely a 2x8 or a 2x10 to get the right combination of boards to get a nice tight fit here. Now don't get yourself all worked up and silly and then caulk the board. You caulk it, you're creating a spot for moisture to get trapped. Just treat your steel with some sprayed in bedliner. Put the steel down. It's gonna get rusty, it's gonna rot. There's nothing you can do about it unless you have an aluminum stock trailer. And even then, you need to take some acid brightener to it once in a while and clean the garbage out of it. Because Aluminum is actually a porous metal. It's got little pores in it. And when aluminum's new, it's got oil in them pores. You know, it's kind of like the opposite of your skin. You gotta have some oil in it. Well, what you do to clean that out is you get some citric or acid, or they call it brightener. Spray your trailer down with it. Rinse it out real good. Get that garbage back up out of that aluminum. Otherwise, after a while, it eats away in the pores and makes the aluminum real brittle. Man, I love the look of that texture at this angle. Look at that. You can see almost like it's sparkling at me. Oh, I don't know if I'm picking it up on the camera, but man, I like it. Anyways, I'm going to go home, get a shower, and I got to go to Detroit, folks. You have a good one. See you. Bye.